So Romanian deadlifts is the next phase of deadlifting that we're talking about in our variations of the deadlift. The Romanian deadlift is really a great hinging movement. It's actually a movement that I know a lot of trainers and coaches will focus on more than the regular deadlift. If you have a lot of clients that are consistently talking about that they want a great posterior, they want a great backside, the Romanian deadlift is a very effective movement for them to do. If you're able to add some consistent weight to it and engage your core to it, you can really get some great results in the backside with this. So what we're gonna do is just quickly go over the Romanian deadlift. It's just a couple things that you wanna look at when you're doing this movement. The number one difference, if people always ask, well, what's the number one difference between deadlifting and Romanian deadlift? Well, it's the starting spot. The deadlift, you're pulling from the ground, but in the Romanian deadlift, we are starting at the hips with the bar and then moving our way down instead of driving up, which is the opposite direction from the deadlift. So Ellen's gonna go ahead and pick up the bar. Once again, we want her feet to be right at about shoulder width apart, even though this is a low trunk movement, not until we get to our squats. We still wanna really focus on her feet being at her shoulder so that we can really get as much leverage and push those glutes back as far as they possibly can. One of the things that I've always told people when they do Romanian deadlifts, it is so much more about how far the hips go back than how far the bar goes down, okay? Really imagine for a second that you have a piece of drywall behind you, which you know you can break, and I want you to focus on pushing that booty through that drywall. Your chest should also face the ground because then that will allow you to make sure you have a nice flat back while you're doing this. So go ahead and set those shoulder blades back for me. And then I want you to think hips first, get a good squeeze on the glutes, and then open up that sacrum and push those hips back. Good. Bar all the way to the middle of the shins, and then right back up. Yeah, so just stop right there at the middle of the shin. Stop, for me, like right underneath where your legging stops. So yeah, give me about 4 of those, just like that. Really good. And really focusing on bracing that core and that midline, because as that bar goes back, and as that weight starts to go down, if you're gonna control it and keep it with good consistent form, it's really gonna be from the midline more than any place else. That'll allow you to isolate the hip hingement and really just push those glutes back and get the isolation up in the hamstrings like you want to. That is your Romanian deadlift.